But what if the ultimate betrayals come from the persons who gave you the life? When her own mother ran away with the boyfriend.
Boyfriends come and go, they can be replaced, but
I agree.
when your mother does something like that, you just feel it's a terrible feeling of.
Were you adapting to heal your own inner child to prove that could give you the love that never received?
So everybody just jokes and says, "Hey, I think we all really came from a different father."
So are you still in the contact of your mother?
Yes, actually, she's in down the hall now. It actually was when I wrote the book.
So did you write that book? Was that kind of a revenge to your mother? Founder of Immunity Health Spa. Sheer determination can rewrite your story. Some people face the heartbreak and some face the betrayal. But what if the ultimate betrayals come from the persons who gave you the life? Sabrina Ciceri is not just a survivor, but she is a fighter. When her own mother ran away with the boyfriend, most people would have broken, but the Sabrina refused to let define her. Instead, this turned into the pain, the power, betrayal into the bravery, and the heartbreak into the fierce determinations to build a lovely family and the successful life she never had. Today, she is not only the mother of six, and the four were adopted, and the grandmother of a five, but also a former nurse turned into the health advocate, entrepreneur, and the founder of Immunity Health Spa, a pioneer wellness center in Florida that's helping the people heal from inside out. Her story is a raw, heartbreaking, and heartwarming all at once. And today, she is here to prove no matter how deep the wounds, resilience, love, and sheer determination can rewrite your story. Sabrina, welcome to the Samir Show. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you for coming. And today I really want to share your incredible journey, even though that you have passed so many betrayals in your life. And it's really recommended that you are now a successful entrepreneur. So my first question, Sabrina, that betrayal from the boyfriend hurts, but betrayal from the mother, it's really broke you. Which cut deeper and why?
It definitely cut deeper for it being my mother. I'm an only child, and she had me when she was 17 years old. So I feel like we were kind of growing up together. So we were best friends, and she was my mother. But boyfriends come and go; they can be replaced. But
I agree.
when your mother does something like that, you just feel. It's a terrible feeling of insecurity that you feel. I think I felt worse about her leaving me and my dad for whoever she would have than it being about the boyfriend, as she took off and left us,
Oh my God.
which was hard to get over.
Right. So did you ever secretly wish your mother had chosen over you, over your own happiness, even if that means to stay miserable?
Yeah, of course, when I was younger, I was very upset about it. Didn't she love me enough? Why didn't she want to stay? What did I do wrong? All those things. You go through that when you're younger. As I have grown older and different therapy, I have realized that, it wasn't about me. It was about some insecurity she had within herself that made her do that. But I also have taken that and use those feelings and of always knowing that I do choose my children many times over what I would want myself, because I know how desperately that children need their parents. You don't just run when it gets tough. You push through it and you overcome, and those bad times change. There's ups and downs in all relationships and in our personal lives,
Yeah, I agree. And you already adopted four kids, right? Now you have built a family of the six children, four adopted. But be honest, I just wanted to ask, were you adapting to heal your own inner child to prove that could give you the love that never received?
Yeah, I definitely think probably partially the way that I felt as a child led me down the path to wanting to have a big family. I wanted to show that unconditional love and forever commitment. And oftentimes I wonder if a lot of my identity might be too wrapped up in being a mother. I take it very serious. It's the best job I've ever had in my life. I think it's the most important job I've had in my life. And I think that probably my passion for that did stem from a lot of the emptiness and a loneliness that I felt from, what all occurred when mom left.
So you adopted the four children. That is once or gradually that you adopted four kids?
Gradually. My kids right now range from 33 years old, and my youngest are
Wow.
12. So,
Oh my.
I had youngest are 12. Yeah. So I did spread it out
Or the
quite a
younger
bit.
one is adopted or it's a biological?
Adopted. The two older
Adopted.
ones, the 33 and the 28-year-old, I carry. And
Oh,
then
okay.
my daughter, actually this week, my daughter, first one we adopted is turning 21. We adopted her
Hmm.
when she was 10 months old. And then I have three younger ones that I adopted at the same time when they were newborns, and they're 14 and two 12-year-olds now. So it was spread apart. Every time I thought I was done, God revealed to me that no, I wasn't done.
So when you adopt the first kids, does your kids that they are kind of a betrayed that mom, please don't do that?
Yes. They definitely all say now, please don't do any more. The older ones, my older kids, when I adopted the one that's 21 now, like, oh,
Okay.
that's sweet, but if you really think you need another one, am I not enough? I said, oh no, you're enough. But I just, we love kids and we want to have another. And then when we went and told them we were going to adopt another one, and
Hmm.
then we ended up adopting three, the way that it
Wow.
worked out, because we were foster parents. They're like,
Hmm.
okay, now we need to talk. Enough's enough.
Hmm.
This is enough.
So how the kids there communicate, like if they are now there's a foster kids, right? So do they feel kind of they are not a biological, so that's why they treat differently? How you handle this situation?
No, everybody is. They're all very understanding of one another.
Okay.
I think a lot of it is because our first child, my daughter, that's 33. I
Hmm.
actually was married for a brief time out of high school. High school
Hmm.
sweetheart. I got married. A few months later, got pregnant and had
Hmm.
her. That marriage didn't last very long at all, and he took off and we divorced. He moved away, and I married the man that I've been with now for over 30 years when my oldest was just about 1.5 years old. So
Okay.
they all know that she was raised by her stepdad, so to speak. So everybody just jokes and says, "Hey, I think we all really came from a different father." So it's always a joke. It's always a joke.
Yeah.
We've got all different daddies. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's not because I was running around.
Yeah, I agree. So most people would have stayed broken, but what gave you the fire to stand back and fight a better life?
Well, I just know my dad was a very strong young man. He was 19 when I was born, but he was very loyal and committed and hardworking. And he made an entrepreneur out of himself from coming from nothing. And he always
Mhm.
told me that we can be whatever we want to be. It's a choice. You can choose the life you want. You can choose every day to be happy. He said, in America is the land of opportunity. You can go out there and make money. You can do what you want to do. Don't be victim of the bad things that happen in your life. And I think that in my relationship with God just really kept me focused on, yeah, staying positive and keep move forward and dreaming big.
So do you believe that resilience is a born in a suffering or it is a choice that rise above the suffering?
I think it's a choice. I think that
Okay.
there's personality things, and I think there's people that are born maybe with a little bit more ambition or drive than others. Different energy levels. But I
Mhm.
believe it's cultivated. I believe that we take what that fire that's in us or not in us, and we work on it. You feed it with self-motivating types of things and words of encouragement, and you get people around you that are living the life you want or more successful or happier than you, and you try to find out and hold on to what they've got going on. I want more of. Just constantly striving to get closer to being happier for the things you want.
I agree. So are you still in the contact of your mother?
Yes, actually, she's in down the hall now.
Oh
Yes,
my,
yeah,
sis?
yeah. We have a good relationship. Yeah, she works for me. Um, I learned years ago that she was a young mother, and she has some things, maybe some diagnoses, bipolar and depression at times. That's when it's not
Okay.
managed, it causes these things. And I
Mhm.
understand that she loves me to her best ability, and she didn't choose to hurt me. She just was young, and like I said, it wasn't her choice. I know she loves me to the best she can, and I've learned to forgive that. I don't forget, and I think it's still the pain of some of that has shaped me. But yeah, I
I
love
agree.
her where she's at. She's still all about herself and very self-absorbed, but I love her. She's my mother.
Okay. So after how long time that she came back and did she apologize to you?
Well, she apologized really just a couple years ago. She,
Okay.
after leaving with my boyfriend, she came back home 6 months later. That didn't work out. No shocker. He was 16, and she was
Yeah, I agree.
30. But she dated multiple men after that, and she would leave
Oh,
and come
okay.
back multiple, all the way up until a couple years ago. She was still chasing the men. She said her beauty was her curse. She was always a beautiful
Hmm.
woman. But finally, about a year ago, is when actually it was when I wrote the book that she read it and she said, I see for the first time clearly, I'm sorry I hurt you. She said, I didn't mean to hurt you. I thought I was just living my life. I'm like, no, it was very impactful to me, you know.
So did you write that book? Is that what was that kind of a revenge to your mother, or just you want to share this thought or the journey to all the women who got betrayed?
Yeah, it wasn't for revenge. I actually talked to her about it before and wanted her to know that I felt like I wanted to share my story because I wanted other women and moms to know, to be encouraged that you can come from dysfunction. You can have toxic relationships with your mom. You can feel guilt for not doing things the way your mom did or worry that you'll do it the way your mom did. But that ultimately we are empowered to make our own choices. We can build our own life. We can be the mother that we want to be. I've been in my marriage over 30 years. It's going strong. I didn't have to divorce or run around like her. And I worried that maybe I would, but you know, it was a choice. So it was just written as a word of encouragement to relate to women that you decide what you want to do and you make your own life happen, regardless of your path.
I know in life that you may find many toxic peoples, but the problem is that when you find the toxic peoples, your own parents, it would be the difficult for your own life too. So what the motivates you to give, like what motivates you to go forward, that not thinking about your parents but you're thinking about your own life?
Well, I think that I'm rewarded every day that I watch myself being a different parent. You know,
Mhm.
I see myself being a different mother, and I see the way that my adult children are living their life. And I realize that that commitment to stay in a marriage, even though we have arguments and there's ups and downs, I could have ran away different times. Every relationship has struggles, but staying the course and seeing how much that has helped ground my adult children and helped them to be more well rounded emotionally, that's just always a constant reward to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. So you didn't just build your life, but you built a successful business empire. What was driven more by passion or proving everything wrong or everyone wrong?
Yeah, I think it was just by passion. You know, it is still a nice story that I came from nothing, you know, didn't
Mhm.
come from any wealth or money or anything. It was just opportunities that you're supposed to take, you know, if the door opens. And I had been having a dream to have a wellness center for years. And then finally, when I saw inches by inches an opportunity to open up a place here or then get it a little bit bigger and move to another place, I have slowly over the past 5 years grown it out of a passion to help people. You know, I love working with people, and I feel like that as you do what you're genuinely supposed to do, it attracts more people and business comes, and then step by step you end up successful. And I'm happy about that. I'm proud about that, but I'm also very thankful and humble that I realize that it's all been a gift, and I've just tried to be aware of the opportunities and take advantage of them when they open up.
I agree. So what do the people misunderstand about the woman who refuse to stay victim?
I think there's lots of people that stay victim because it's a cop out of them having to take ownership and move forward. It's a lazy way that really it's themselves failing. It's not anything in their past that failed them. We are an adult now. When you get out from under your parents, you can make the choices that you want to make. You don't have to follow in the same path. You don't have to stay a victim. You can say, I am free now to move past this. Even like I said with myself, coming from no money. I couldn't even afford to go to college. Education wasn't even an option for me. We didn't have that. And for some, they'd be like, well, I can't do any better because I couldn't even go to college. Or, no, yes, you can. You can go to trade school like I did. I found the money to get to 10 months of trade school. Then you
Mhm.
can take baby steps and do the best you can at your job and not play victim there, which a lot of places, a lot of people runs off that victim mentality even into their workplace. You know, they don't do their best at work because, you know, they're just barely getting on and nobody knows what they deal with at home. But they need to stop that. It's their
I agree.
choice.
So when you look back, do you find that is this a survival or a victory?
Oh, I would say it was Survivor for a while, but I'm
Mhm.
53 now, so it's turned over to where it's a victory. You know, it
Yeah.
was survival mode for a while, but now I've been on the other side of that for a while to where everything's a victory. I mean, I'm even happy and pleased. I'm thankful I have a relationship with my mother, even though it's still not perfect. And sometimes I have to keep her at arm's length. It's
Mhm.
all a victory. I hold nothing on from the past.
I agree. So do you believe that suppose if you're having the argument with your mother, does your old memories recall in your in your life? Sorry.
That's
So
okay.
so when you
I,
have the argument with your mother, that does that old memory recall when you talk to them?
yes, it did a lot, especially if she's telling me something to do about parenting. She
Okay.
says, "Oh, with the kids, you
Oh
should."
my God.
I'm thinking, I'm like, who are you talking to? Don't give me any parenting advice, please. And she said something. For years, I used to say, "Here we go. If it's not one thing, it's a mother." And so that's really what spawned the title of the book, is
Yeah.
because she'd be over there running her mouth, and I'm like, here we go again. Like, keep your mouth shut. Don't give me any advice. I'm not taking your advice. But we,
Okay,
we
so
laugh about it now.
yeah, exactly. So you left the nursing, right? And you started preventing health. Was it because you tired of treating the sickness, or was because you wanted to transform lives before they broke?
Well, I was actively working in the hospital, seeing the multiple medication and one medication given to treat the symptoms of another. And I got really frustrated with not seeing a lot of the patient outcomes success. And so I started down a journey of wanting to see about preventing or reversing disease processes naturally. And that was 20 years ago that I started learning that. And then I ended up starting a magazine, Healthy Living, with a group of people. They had the idea, and I came on board and got to interview people about how they were reversing their health damage. And then I ended up working for the number one healing center in the world called Hippocrates down in South Florida, and learned a great deal. Working there, became a plant-based health educator, and just started collecting more information about how we could prevent disease or reverse disease. And that's what led me to open up Immunity.
So who gave you the idea about to open this immunity spa?
It's been on my heart for years, wanting to
Okay.
open some type of center for about 10. But then during COVID in June of 2020, when people were becoming more aware than ever of taking some accountability for their health, learning about vitamin D and these other things, I thought that was the time to open. So we were able to go house to house and start IV drips and nebulize for their lungs, and was really trying to help during that time. And that's kind of what propelled us, gave us some grounding to grow. So we added more and more things as we went: red light therapy, hyperbarics, cryotherapy. Like, we kept adding modalities and things to try to help heal the body, and it's done very well.
So who should came to your spa? That who are mentally stressed or they are some physically weakness?
It's both. It's
Both.
both. There's a big connection. When you have, stress is the number one killer. The statistics still show that it is still the number one contributor to disease. So we do all of our healing in a parasympathetic state. So that's when we can turn our mind off, or either it'll drive ourselves crazy. So we do have, vibroacoustic, electromagnetic type of beds to relax on, that puts people in that meditative state, that helps them to heal at the same time that we can do IV drips and send nutrients to them that all will settle down their nervous system as well. So it helps for not just physical, but this helps strong with the mental state of people.
Okay. So immunity has spa is like a bold vision. If someone comes to you as in the broken physically or emotionally, what's the first transforming you want them to feel before they leave?
Before they leave, I want them to feel some calmness.
Calmness. Okay.
Most people, they're more anxious. Either their mind's running 90 miles a minute, or they feel anxious inside their body. And that could be as simple as one therapy session to get them calmer, to where they can see what their body needs to feel like. Most people walk around not feeling good and don't even realize. When they start doing some things and they feel good, they're like, wow, I didn't realize I felt that as bad as I was feeling. And even just like for anybody listening now, the majority of people that struggle with stress are deficient in magnesium. They just need to start taking some magnesium supplementation, and that alone could help to calm them down. It's people think it's a really big ordeal to take a look at these things, but it could be the smallest, simplest things that could really help people a lot.
So are you testing in you have your own lab to test all that like minerals that missing or that has like magnesium you talk about?
Yes.
So that is in
Yes, we
your
do that.
okay.
Yeah, when they come in, we do nutrient testing, spectral cell testing. We draw the blood right here and send it off to the lab, and then we get the results back. So there's no guesswork. We can see right what you're low in and what you are adequate in, and be able to give you that. I mean, gut testing, advanced lab testing, we can do all that, here.
Okay. So what's the one wellness therapy you believe that will completely change how we age in the next 10 years?
Well, I would have to say it would start with the IV drips, the
IV
nutrients.
drips. Okay.
Yeah, we are so deficient. I mean, even our food that we right now that we get organic, it may be clean of pesticides and harmful chemicals, but it doesn't have any more nutrients in it than the chemical foods do. Our
I
soil and
agree.
everything's just been over farmed and depleted. So everybody needs supplementation. I think that's why the IV drips that can give you that, and glutathione, which is a master antioxidant, that's the first course I think to slow down the aging, is give your body some of the things it needs, and it knows how to repair itself.
Yeah. So after like 30 or 40, most people is like trying to add up like a supplements, right? Many times that without a doctor concerns. Do you believe that they could start immediately because it's generally available in all the stores, or they should start preferring they have to ask a doctors or like a spa that you have already provided?
Yeah, no. I mean, we have a medical director here, but every human being on the planet, I mean, all the way down to my 12-year-olds, need foundational supplementation. We need
Hmm.
digestive enzymes, probiotic. We need some chlorella, blue-green algae, just a few staple things. The
Hmm.
biggest problem with that is that most people will go and buy them from a source that they don't know the quality. And if
Hmm.
you put in a vitamin that is not high quality, it actually shuts your immune system down by 40% because it tries to get rid of that foreign substance. So I
Okay.
just say, that's why we cover, and I check into our pharmacies all the time. We have a huge supplement store where we check the quality of these supplementations, because it's better to take nothing if you can't take something that's good. And they're not expensive like people think, but they just need to really be careful of where they buy their vitamins from. It needs to be sourced good so their body will recognize it as bioavailable.
So you have seen both the side, right? Once it's a medicine and the holistic wellness. Where is the modern healthcare failing us the most?
I think it's failing because it's not accepting more of the complementary medicines as a combination. Just like, for
Okay.
instance, somebody that's going to end up going to get chemo and radiation. If they're going to
Hmm.
go down that road and they're going to get rid of the cancer, I wish that the physicians, and some of them would be more open minded to say, now let's do this, but go to a place like what we offer and boost your immune system. Because although this is going to be strong and kill off your cancer, it's going to kill off a lot of good things too. So go and get your vitamin D shots. Go and get some hydration and vitamin C drips. Let's keep your immune system strong so your body will feel good and it doesn't have to feel that sick. People that go through chemotherapy and radiation that come here and do some of these services while they're going through it, they report back that they've not been sick, weak, nauseated, or anything because they've had that support. As opposed to other people will say their chemotherapy time has been the worst of their life. They feel so sick. It doesn't have to be that way. I wish that we could come together and blend to treat the whole person.
I agree. I agree. So if you could prescribe one non-negotiable wellness habit to every listener right now, what it would be?
Drink water. You
Lots of
have to
photos.
hydrate. Drink
Okay.
water. It's the only way that our body rids itself of the huge toxic burden that's coming at us on a daily basis. I mean, from what we breathe, the 5G that's penetrating our bodies, we need to drink water. Our body tries to naturally detoxify and eliminate that toxic burden, but if we don't give it any water to try to help push it through, we're not helping it along. So that would be the first and the foremost.
Okay. Many times even I forgot to drink water. In a whole day that I hardly drank 1 or 2 glasses.
Oh, oh no, you've got what people don't realize, that when we go to sleep at night, during our detoxification at night, our body emits
Mhm.
16 ounces of water during our sleep. So you wake up 16 ounces depleted in water, and then most people grab a cup of coffee and they deplete it 16 ounces more. They're so dehydrated they can hardly catch up.
So is it a good habit like in the morning that whenever the people getting wake up, immediately they start drinking the coffee or the tea and they are not drinking the water? What's a good habit for that?
Yeah, a good habit is to go to bed with a big tall glass of water on your night. As soon
Okay.
as you wake up in the morning and sit on the side of the bed, chug that one glass of water. As soon
Without
as you wake
brush?
up, get the water. Just
Okay.
just drink it. It can just
Okay.
room temperature. Just get that in you, and then you'll be surprised at how much more awake you get just by getting that in you right all the way. First thing, don't go to the
Okay.
coffee and tea first. It dehydrates.
All right. Okay. So last question. If the motherhood is supposed to be an unconditional love, what do you say to the woman listening right now whose mothers never loved them the way they deserve?
Well, I think that they can start out by just not being bad, not feeling sad about what they wish their mom wanted. I did that for a long time. I accepted that my mom gave all that she could give. She didn't love herself. At the time, she couldn't give me what I needed because she didn't know how to. It was like a handicap. You don't ask somebody in a wheelchair to stand up and walk that can't walk. Asking her to try to love me the way I needed with her not knowing how was impossible. And I think it needs to start with look in the mirror at yourself and realize that you can love yourself. I started looking at myself and saying, hey, listen, I love you. And you can be the mom you want to be. And I live every day trying to realize that I'll be the role model for my own self to try to constantly be the better mother that I can be for my kids. And that really satisfied me.
So what is the most thing that you are own proud of?
I think very simply staying there, just staying, from what I came from, just staying, raising 6 kids in the teenager years when they act like they don't want you around and you could check out and you could be uninvolved. I mean, I'm not saying staying. I never wanted to leave my husband. We have a great relationship, but I'm saying like staying present. Yeah. I could have ignored them, but I didn't. I forced them to sit down and talk to me and tell me what's going on at school. I forced them to know that even though you don't want to hug me anymore, I'm going to squeeze you up anyway, right in front of your friends, just staying involved, even though you can tell that they're not reciprocating the love right now.
Yeah,
14-year-olds aren't very loving.
Okay, let's have a rapid fire round. I ask you the 10 questions, only the one word option, okay?
One word?
Yeah, one word only.
Okay.
Strength or survival?
Strength.
Forgive or forget?
Forgive.
Mother or mentor?
Mentor.
Love or loyalty?
Loyalty.
Family or freedom?
Freedom.
Pain or power?
Power.
Discipline or motivation?
Motivation.
Western medicine or wellness?
Wellness.
Fear or faith?
Faith.
Success or significance?
Significance.
That's it. Thank you so much for coming to my show, and it's really wonderful conversation with you. And today you motivated all the women who got betrayed or who are depressed in their life. And I will suggest all, I'm not saying the patients, but who want to heal yourself, please visit the Immunity Health. I recommended it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.